And you were always threatened if you hit a stone, you'd have to replace it. Now, how the hell do you know there's a stone in the ground when you're going around the field? Even in the tractors as well, we've got a rather special one-off for you as well yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see across there, there's a large yellow tractor, Minneapolis, and I'd never seen one of that size before. And I said to Bernie, we need to speak to this guy. And that tractor has come from America, and it's the only one of its kind in the UK. So it's lovely that a show of this size can attract, rather special vehicles. Right, David Brown, as I say, car manufacturer. And for those of you, I'm sure a lot of you know, the four-wheel drive system that we have in cars, well, that came about through Ferguson. Ferguson tractors, the four-wheel drive system. Massey Harris, that again was two car manufacturers that amalgamated. And as you can see here, on this implement coming round, that is being driven by the wheels. So originally, when we had equipment to till the fields, it was a gearing on the wheel on the piece of equipment that you were using. That has since been superseded by the PTO, the power takeoff. That's the drive shaft on the back where we connect to, and that really did revolutionise farming. Still going today. These little tractors, 135, 35 horsepower. The biggest tractor in the world is in America. I'm afraid most of the biggest tractors in the world are in America. There's a series of them known as Big Bud, and they are 1,100 horsepower. 1,100, but you can get a lot of working tractors up to 600. Trouble with some of these old tractors, they're not very keen to start. So once they get them in here, they have to keep them running, so it becomes a bit of a competition. And you can see some of them are being restored. It's a nut and bolt, it's shiny and clean, and then other people, as we can see here, like to keep it in their working yard. And believe it or not, they have equal values. Some people will pay 10 grand for one that's shiny. Somebody will give you 10 grand for that because they'd rather see it as it was meant to be, so to speak. And what's good today, we're getting a lot of different things coming in. In a way, we could almost have done with reversing them in because you've got winches on the back. What's significant with all these old tractors, different to the modern ones, anyone's coming today, we're going to have a real good lineup for you. You'll notice there's no safety bars on the top of them. Unfortunately we have to learn in the farming industry, and unfortunately it is still one of the most dangerous industries to work in to this day. If ever you're near anything with an engine, switch it off before you go and look at anything, because we all think we know, and we've all been caught out at some point, and it's usually, I haven't got time. Looks as if we've got a threshing machine there coming round the back. Yeah, he's got a... First tractor was made in America in about the 1890s. And it was originally a steam tractor, and I think it had a 1cc engine. But the UK market, we might think we're a big farming country, but we're nothing. In terms of tractor sales in the world, about 2%. It's more Canada, America, India, until unfortunate events, Ukraine, and I mean, that's where the big tractors really come into their own. Bigger horsepower tractors, they're usually used for pulling work, so it's about ploughing, it's about deep root ploughing and things like that. That's why you had the bigger tractors. So as you can see there, the Jones baler and the threshing machine, that's how the contractor would have turned up. So what would have happened is you would have gone and cut the corn in the field with a knife, with the knives. You would have then loose collected it, normally in stooks. You would have then brought it into the corner of the field or to the farm, and it would have been threshed or thrashed, where the grain would have been separated from the stem. When I was a young lad, my father had a friend who'd come up from Bala, and I went back and helped them gather the harvest in, and because I was about 6, my job was to go round with a stick and hit the stooks so that the mice would come out before they put them through the threshing machine. A lot of Massey Fergusons, as you can see, Super Dexters. We all seem to have one of these lying around in the shed, and unfortunately, probably up to about 30 years ago, nobody bothered about them, but they've certainly come into their own a lot more now.
We're nearly there, Dave's lining the last few up.
Right.
The field marshal's coming down to the very front.
All right. Yeah. And believe it or not, those two Fords now with the cabs on coming in, they're modern classics. But we used to think those tractors were big. I mean, I can't believe now that I can't just leap into a tractor when the back wheels are about as high as me, and I'm 6'5". And of course now when you get in a modern tractor, it's like getting in a cockpit. Most expensive tractor in the UK is a John Deere, and I believe it's sold for about £500,000, and it's working down in Cambridgeshire. But a lot of the big tractors that you see, they're all GPS. So now when you go into a field, if you're a contractor and they're coming to work for you, tractor goes into the field, puts your coordinates in, and the tractor can virtually do most things. They're even now for something like ploughing, trying to perfect an app whereby the tractor will go up and down the field and take the plough out automatically, which may or may not be a good thing. It was always about the guy on the tractor that counted. Right, what are we going to do? Draw this first one in, have a chat about it, and then get him to draw out.